Hey guys, how's it going? Doing a little bit of a different video today, probably a little quicker than these past couple videos I've done. But I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. I'm not exactly in the best place mentally right now. I was actually on the 988 line twice this week, and I don't intend to hurt myself or hurt anybody, but I'm struggling. I've been trying to process a lot of emotions, and I'll be able to get through it. But I'm not normally up this time of day, at least not throughout the week, and I'm probably going to call off work. Also, apologies in advance. I have my retainer in because this is normally when I sleep. So if I sound weird, that's why. But I wanted to do a video to express my gratitude for the many things that are going right in my life, to help cope with the things that aren't. I have a better life than most people in this world, and sometimes I don't believe that, but I think this video is going to help ground me. So I came up with 35 blessings, right? But honestly, some of them are basically multiple blessings wrapped into one. So I really have hundreds, if not well over 1,000 blessings, man. So I guess we'll get right into it. Also, my notes are now on my iPad. I don't know if I will write stuff down. I feel like that might help me memorize stuff better, but the only notes I have for this video are the blessings themselves, this list of 35 different things that I'm grateful for. The first one is that I live in America. Some people may argue that that is not a blessing, but I think it is. Despite all its flaws, and I think those are more present, and people are more aware of them now more than ever, which is a good thing. We want more transparency. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I'd rather be anywhere else than in America. I'm not like, maybe there are a few other countries I might consider, but not most of them. There's probably a good 150, 200 nations that I would really have no business in wanting to be in. And funny enough, I don't really, my sense of wonder is not grounded in travel. I've never really been big on it, and maybe I'll get out of the country one day, probably not permanently, but I'm in no rush, man. I've got so much to see, even from where I grew up, there's so much to experience. And yeah, I think getting to live in this country is a blessing. I'm afforded certain rights and opportunities that I would not be given in a lot of other places. And that's a reason why millions move here like every year, or at least 1 million. I'm not entirely aware of the statistic, but our population is increasing, and a big part of that is immigration. Number 2, I don't go hungry. I don't really have to worry about where my next meal is coming from. And not everyone in America can say that. Even when we were struggling, there was food in the fridge, We had SNAP or EBT, right? So, yeah, I pretty much never missed a meal. Hell, I didn't even grow up in a household where you didn't get dinner if you were bad. Granted, it wasn't bad like super often, but there's a reason I got to be over 300 and over 400 pounds. I didn't exactly go without eating, not for too long at least. Number 3, I don't go thirsty. I have access to clean drinking water whenever I want. And if I don't like the water that's in my own home, I can go buy water elsewhere. I can buy whatever water I really want. So not everyone in America has access to clean drinking water. I mean, we're all aware of Flint, Michigan. I'm sure there's other communities that are dealing with that same issue. Number 4, I have a roof over my head. There's millions of homeless people, man. I'm not one of them. And there's a lot of people that are on the street. They might not even have a car or a bike. They're camping out in the woods, having their camp, taken down by local law enforcement, dealing with squatters and whatnot, dealing with other homeless people, because from what I've been told from other homeless people, that seems to be the people that are fucking them over the most. It's like a rat race, but on like a lower scale. Instead of like a corporate setting, it's like being out on the streets, and everyone is just trying to make their nut, get their hunk of cheese, right? And I don't even have to deal with that. That doesn't even really cross my mind, not until I've just been talking about it. Number 5, I've got central air. Some people deal with more outrageous electric bills, and I really, that's a big reason that I don't have to. The house can stay pretty much the same temperature all year round, and that's nice. Hell, we barely even have to deal with bugs. I think you could add that as another blessing. That's blessing number 36. I fucking hate bugs, man. I get to enjoy cool weather. If I could have it my way, it would be 60 degrees all year round, low humidity, cloudy, dry. That'd be perfect for me, man. Have like that weather you get in like, I don't know, October, November, after the summer, the heat has died down. But I basically get to experience that whenever I'm home. Number 6, I have access to a washer and dryer. I pretty much always have. At the time in my life where I didn't, I wasn't even responsible for cleaning my clothes. And by the time I was, there was a hookup for it. Never really had to go out of my way to a laundromat, but maybe a couple times, and I was actually at a point in my life where even with access to a washer and dryer, I didn't even feel like doing my clothes. I had gotten so lazy like a couple years ago that I would buy new clothes. I would buy new socks, new underwear when I had got them dirty, sweat through them and whatnot. And of course now I feel more motivated to do my laundry, but there was a time where even when I had that blessing, I didn't take advantage of it. So not only should you count them, but you should use them. Use your blessings for sure. There's nothing wrong with taking advantage of the privileges that you have in your life. I mean, it's one thing to misuse them, but if it makes your life easier and you're not fucking anyone over, man, go for it. Number 7, I get along with my roommates. I like my roommates, and my roommates have a kid, and that kid's awesome too. I hardly ever have arguments with him, and when we hash things out, things go over smooth, man, and we're able to work through our issues. He's my roommate I've had for now almost 3 years. He's awesome, and his wife's cool, and the kid's great. So not everyone gets along with their roommate. Some people have to get into apartments with strangers, and that sounds terrifying to me. I couldn't do that, man. I could not deal with that. Number 8, kind of related to how I get along with my roommates, is that I have peace and quiet at home. Even if you get along with somebody, sometimes they're not always good for your peace. Sometimes you have to take them in small doses. I don't really have to do that with my roommates. I have to do that with a lot of my family members and some of my friends, some of the more chaotic ones with a bit of an unruly streak, but that's okay. I can pretty much go home whenever I want. If it's not work, there's a good chance I'm home. I don't go out super often. I like to, try new restaurants, maybe check out new stores. But I don't know if clubbing's for me. I thought that maybe I might go hit the club or something like that once I get a car, but I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. So I really like, being at home, just relaxing. I'm getting better about just sitting down and watching a show, or sitting down and playing a game and not feeling guilty about it. Because it's one thing to like do it all the time and use it as a means to escape, and it's another way to have an outlet, to have a sense of wonder, to be able to play, right? To do things without keeping productivity in mind. That will burn you out if everything is seen as like an investment in what your ROI is on this situation. Like it's not not healthy to always think like that. Number 9, I don't really have any trouble going to sleep. In fact, I probably sleep a little too easy. I've had only a few days in my life where going to sleep was an issue. And even then, really the solution to that is to go try and do something else besides sleep, because eventually you'll conk out. You're feeling tired, and go try to stay up and watch a show. You'll probably pass out because you're trying to focus, but you're already kind of sapped of energy. It works, man. Like it doesn't. I don't really have that issue. I'm not an insomniac. Never had to deal with it. If anything, I'm probably a little more of a narcoleptic. At one point in my life, it was pretty easy to fall asleep just about anywhere. I used to fall asleep in my break room at work, like after I'd clock out. Would be pretty normal for me to get off of an 8-hour shift and go take like a 2-hour nap in the back. Thankfully, nothing problematic ever really came of that, but like I was definitely unmotivated, definitely lacked energy, lacked vigor. So yeah, I sleep like a baby most nights. Number 10, I'm in the best shape of my adult life. I'm weighing in today. I'm going to probably try to take a nap after this video, just because I normally am asleep at these hours. But I weigh in at the first of every month, and I was 287 pounds on May 1st of 2026. I have not been 287 pounds probably since freshman year of high school, so it's been almost a decade. So yeah, that is, it's brought me so many blessings just wrapped into one, just from that. It's serious, that you are your best form of insurance, man. So take care of yourself, eat right, eat clean, but it's okay to cheat. It's okay to eat those foods that aren't real food, really, if you know what's in them. Number 11, I've been able to cut out multiple bad habits. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't gamble, I don't even, no alcohol, but also I've been able to cut out caffeine. That's been great. I'm still struggling with pornography. I think a lot of men do, but I'm making strides in that. It doesn't have as much of a tight grasp around me as it used to. My mind is a lot more freed to focus on bettering myself and being there for other people. I'm using other methods to cope, and maybe those aren't all necessarily healthy. I have to catch myself from possibly trying to escape into a fantasy world with the hobby that I'm into, which I will talk about later. It's another blessing. But like, there's so many issues that a lot of people deal with, especially in this country, and what people are dependent on, and I can disregard most of it. That temptation doesn't even cross my mind. Number 12, I've been able to downsize my world. I've been able to donate a lot of stuff that, I kind of had as impulse buys. That's kind of a crazy thing to even have, think about that term, when it's like, yeah, I just kind of bought it because I felt like it. I didn't even really consider that I wanted it. It was just there, and I felt like paying that price because it didn't seem too expensive. That's kind of wild that we can just do that. That is a huge privilege, right? So I've been able to donate a lot of clothes over the year, over this past month. I sold a lot of stuff at a yard sale, made more money than I thought I would. It's helped pay for a few things I've wanted instead. So I own a lot less stuff than I used to, and it's better that way. And I'm able to collect other things that I enjoy more. So I'm trading out a lot of the stuff that I really didn't want, and I'm able to obtain the things that I do want, while simultaneously having less to account for. The next time I move, I'll have less stuff. It'll be less of a pain in the ass. It won't be a 16-hour move. So that is a blessing. Number 13, I'm not handicapped, physically or mentally. I am a fairly competent individual on paper. So, and I try to be in practice as well. That's more of a struggle, but I don't deal with any mental handicaps, and I'm not blind, I'm not deaf, I'm not mute, I'm not a paraplegic or quadriplegic. I can get up and walk whenever. I'm kind of in a little bit of a rough shape right now. I got a little pain in my left thigh. I think I was kind of overexerting myself. I've been running around. I got in a mosh pit not too long ago, and I kind of think I was putting a little too much stress on my body with that. I've never really moshed like that before. It was still fun, and I don't think anything bad is going to really come from this. I got to take a week off from the gym. But yeah, I get to have maybe this is going to sound bad the way I say it, but I get to have a higher capacity for reasoning that a lot of people aren't afforded, and that is a blessing. If you don't, if your life is not limited in such a way, which those people can still live good lives, but it's hard, man. That's really what life comes down to, is choosing your heart. And some things you don't get to choose. Some things are just hard, and you don't get to really make a fuss about it. Or if you do, you don't. It's not going to change anything. Number 14, I don't have to take meds. This one I could see is a little controversial, but I had one period in my life where I was put on an antidepressant for a very short period of time, and otherwise, no. Now I may consider going and seeking some professional help, and that may involve me being medicated at some point. But it's important to keep in mind that there are people that take medication when I think that there are changes they can make in their lives that can help them not have to do that. And I'm not saying that everyone who takes meds shouldn't, no. There are people that have conditions that need to be treated, and part of that treatment is medication, or some of it's life-saving. But there are a lot of people that take medication, and one thing I fear is that I will lose myself from it. That it will nullify the bad, but it's also going to nullify the good. But as of right now, I am stable enough, despite my struggles, that it's not necessary. So it's not something I have to worry about. I don't have to, and it's a blessing to have medication as well. You can really look at it either way. What helps people get through their problems, but also I don't have to deal with making sure I have prescriptions refilled, or figuring out if insurance can cover this, or if I'm going to have to cough up, some money to, pay for it, a substantial amount of money. Number 15, I had braces. That's why I have my retainer and got to protect my investment. They're expensive, man. I had my braces first put on about 10 and a half years ago, and I got them taken off about 8.5 years ago. So, I mean, it was $5,700. And if my dad didn't have disability back pay, I probably wouldn't have had that. So, I'm very grateful to have them. My front teeth used to overlap, and I was very, very insecure about it. But now it's like I got a pretty good set of choppers, and I'm taking better care of them as well. Kind of weird that I put this right next to it, but I number 16 is that I have all 32 teeth. I think that's a separate blessing in and of itself. Even if my grill was kind of jacked up, like I got to keep my wisdom teeth. I didn't have to deal with that. I didn't have to be put on, I didn't have to be put on a anesthetic and have them cut out and then get recorded by my parents on the drive back saying goofy shit that would get me clipped on the internet. That's the only way I'm going to get millions of views. So maybe actually I'll do it anyway. No, but not everyone gets to have them. Some people get 28, some people got none. And some people lose them even when they take good care of their teeth. I found out that like women end up having like brittle and like loose teeth after children, like, they have children because they're like depleting their like calcium and stuff like that. That's wild to me. That is an insane sacrifice and toll that it takes on your body. But man, I get to have them. And I have dental insurance. I don't even have that listed on my blessings here, but that's another one, man. Like, I get to have and if something bad does happen to my teeth, like, that problem could be fixed, and I would have to pay maybe half as much on that procedure, like, at worst. Like, I get a stiff discount, if something comes up. So, yeah, not everyone has that. Number 17, I have phone service. It's hard to make it out there if you don't got a phone, man. Pretty much every job application asks for a phone number. So, trying to even figure that out. I get unlimited service, and I pay, I don't know, with insurance, $30 some odd once a month. And I never run out of data. Like, it's just like an afterthought, really. It lets me connect with so many other people. So that's huge. Number 18, I have a gym membership. And I'm taking a week off now, but I've went hard in the gym for 20 some odd weeks, and I've had a membership for that portion of 20 for about half that long. And it's great, man. I can go in there and work out as long as I want, whenever I want. And I have access to certain facilities that can aid in recovery, or if I want to get a tan, right? Or if I want to go to some class, like, it's not even $30 a month, not even $1 a day. That's the rule of thumb I've been told by people that lift. If you had a gym membership back in the day, if it was $1 or less a day, that was a good deal. So I think I got a pretty good deal. Also, maybe pro-life tip, if you're ever struggling and you're in a rough spot, you're homeless, maybe living out of your car, a lot cheaper to pay for a gym membership to clean up there, shower there, than it would be to pay at a truck stop. So, like, I'm sure people do it, and it's a good way to stay in shape too. Though I think especially if you're out on the streets, you're probably in decent shape a lot of the time. You're probably on the move a lot. And but yeah, that's another thing. Like, even if shit hit the fan and I lost everything I have, like, I would still have that gym membership for at least a month, and I could make something work out of that. I could still utilize that. Number 19, I have a wholesale membership. $50 a month, I get access to the food that I want to buy in bulk at a discounted rate. I don't have to pay, I don't have to resort to obscene convenient prices. and I can stock up, and I don't have to go to a grocery store every week or multiple times a week. Now I still go probably about every other week, but like, I don't necessarily get to pick from a million brands, but hey, man, I get to, like, if I want 2 pounds of salami, I got fucking 2 pounds of salami, man. Like, and I don't have to pay, $20 for it. So, like, hey, that's a W in my book. $5 rotisserie chicken. That is an insane W. That's another cheat. You're on a limited income and you're trying to hit your protein goals. Yeah. Rotisserie chicken a day, you're getting at least, probably 150 grams of protein from that thing. And fat, if you eat the skin. Or if you're trying to cut and be lean, you don't have to eat the skin. That's still 2 pounds of chicken, right? So that's a W in my book. Number 20, I have a high school diploma. Every year there's thousands, maybe tens of thousands, I don't know, maybe hundreds of thousands over the course of however long we've had access to secondary education. Like, there's plenty of people that don't graduate, that don't make the cut, or they didn't care to make the cut. And I definitely struggled with school, especially towards the tail end, dealing with COVID. But even then, I ended up with the same thing that everyone else had got, for whether they were a D average or A plus. Valedictorian to the bottom of the class. I still got my diploma. Now, I didn't pursue higher education, and I have my reasons for that, but I mean, a lot of places require you to have a high school diploma, and that's probably something that places are stiffer on more than having a degree. There are certain jobs that that looks good on it. It looks good on a resume, and really the networking is like the huge benefit of college. At least it's supposed to be, because I think we're not blind to the fact that who you know is more impactful than what you know. We know very little, but who we know can change a lot in our lives. So, yeah, there are certain opportunities that I have access to because I have a high school diploma, and I don't have to go back to school if I don't want to. Like, I didn't even have to go back to school if I didn't have my high school diploma. Also, shout out to my cousin who got his GED. I would encourage you all, if you didn't get your diploma, you didn't graduate, no shame in it. Shit happens. Being 16, 17 years old can be a horrible, horrible time in life. But you can, within, a fairly short amount of time, get your GED. It's treated the same, if I'm not mistaken. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but like, you can have one or the other. So, number 21, I have a job. Millions of people are unemployed. Millions of people are not even getting paid unemployment. They can't work, or they're struggling to find work. The market's rough, man. But I've held down the same job for a while, and yeah, I want a new job, but like, I don't, that leads me to blessing number 22. I don't hate my job, man. Like, there's things that I would like to change about it, but that's anywhere you go. I don't know, like, what exactly I'm going to do next in terms of work, but like, for now, this is okay. Like, there are so many people that are stuck in, better paying jobs, or jobs with better benefits, or jobs that are easier and pay better, and they still fucking suck. Like, there's still things that like, it's miserable. It's like they're unfulfilled. They lack purpose. That is one of, like, the biggest ways to, or probably one of the main ways people end up depressed. They feel useless, man. So, like, I'm not saying that what I do is all that special, but I got something that I can show up and do and try to, make people's days better. And that's enough for now. Number 23, icing on the cake. I like my coworkers. I like the people I work with. People can like their jobs and not like the people they work with. And I'm not in a job where I have to sit around in a meeting with a bunch of people I don't like and pretend to care and pretend to engage and ask questions just to stretch it out so that I don't have to go back and work a job that I don't like, right? So, yeah, it's probably one of the main reasons I stuck around at this job. My managers have actually consistently been awesome, especially my general manager. Love them. They are, and I know this is going to sound cheesy, and I know it's leveraged in the corporate world to get people to be guilty to stick around, but some of them really do feel like family to me, man. Some of them know more about me than my own family in one way or another. So, like, even if I didn't like my job, embracing the suck is huge. Like, that's one of the things my roommate taught me when he was in the military is like, you're all going through the shit, so you might as well stick together through it, right? Embracing the suck is huge. And there are parts about my job that sucks, but I'm always next to somebody who's pretty much dealing with the same thing, and like we get to, one way or another, I've been on hundreds if not 1,000 shifts at this point, and things are all right. Like, the day always ends. It's all temporary. Number 24, I'm not broke. Is it like a coin toss in America to have to be someone who's living paycheck to paycheck? Like, I don't know how many people it is. It's a very high percentage. It's a significant percentage of people that are like one paycheck away from fucking losing it all. And I'm not there. If I really wanted to quit my job, I could coast for the better part of a year, and then I would be broke. But even then, not everyone gets to say that. Some people are broke and have a job. Like, some people are swallowed into debt. So that's something that I don't have to worry about. Is it shitty that sometimes I'm like, oh, I got to schedule a payment and I know I'm going to have this much in my bank account after this is taken out? But it's like, it's whatever the fuck to me at this point, man. Like, it all, like, the bills get paid for the month and then I'm good. Like, I don't even have to think about it again until I don't even really think about it until the day of, or until my roommate tells me how much my share of the rent is. And it's like, oh, whatever. I'll Zelle you, and we got it sorted. That's like 80 to 90% of my bills is rent. Like, I have very little outside of that. Like, maybe 80% rent, 15% food, and the rest is like the little shit. The gym membership, the phone service, it's whatever the fuck, man. Like, I don't have to worry about, like I said before, same with food. Like, I don't have to worry about, like, am I going to be able to wash my clothes? I know there's people that are scrounging for quarters in their fucking console, in their car, trying to figure out how to look presentable for that job interview, and so many other different things that happen when you run out of money. I'm okay. And that does lead me to number 25, like I said, and as it was implied, I have little to no debt. It's $100 to $200 at any given time, maybe, at worst. Like, the worst thing I've been hit with debt-wise is like a $300 bill at the dentist because I forgot that I wasn't covering in all my services. And even then, they cut me a heavy discount on the services, which is a little weird because when you get when your insurance tells you that, oh, they paid for this much, and then you get your statement saying like, oh, you're responsible for this much. But then the actual the dentist office doesn't even charge you for that much money. It's weird. I don't know if you all have dealt with that, but it was like $300 and I got my teeth to look pretty good for it. So I ain't mad. And it got split into interest-free payments. Like, I've not paid a cent of interest my entire life. The almost 3 years I've had a credit card, it doesn't happen. So, that's huge. Because there's people, the average person my age dealing with like 50 grand in debt from college that is accruing interest that they can't keep up with while they work a job that's paying probably similar to mine. And they have a degree. I'm not saying that's everybody. There's plenty of successful people that are young, but I don't know. There's a lot of people online talking about how fucked they are. So, number 26, also tied in, kind of implied by the fact that I haven't paid any interest ever and never really had to deal with that much debt. I have good credit. I could leverage that for so many different things. I could pay for things that I can't necessarily afford, which isn't like the smartest thing. If I wanted to get a new car, I could do it. I'm not going to do that. But if I wanted to put something on payments, I could. And that's cool with me, man. Like, I mean, we've had to utilize it from time to time, you know, like have to, oh fuck, you know, this is a little unexpected. Money's a little tighter than expected, but oh, you're saying just pay it once every month, pay like $30 on it. If you're doing that for like one thing, that's kind of whatever the fuck, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I like using that phrase. When it's something that I don't exactly care about, don't have to pay much mind to, it's whatever the fuck to me. And like, that's what these bills are to me. So I'm very, very blessed to have above a 750 credit score. That also gets me access to saving money in some ways, because if there's certain things that I was going to buy anyway with cash or on debit, like the fact that I only pay for basically 98 or 97, 96, 95% of what it was actually costing, like that helps me save money. I know some people, I haven't done it, but I know there's some people out there that have got like a credit card with like a crazy limit. They buy something on it and then they like return the item, and then they get like their little percentage back in like on their statement for like, I know people that have done that hustle. I'm not saying you should do it, but I know people that have. These like last, like, what is it, like 8, 9 blessings, they're a little more personal, a little more detached from just material. There's some materialistic things on here, but just like some things that really help fulfill me. Number 27 is that I still have my parents. Not everyone can say that. And even people that do have their parents don't necessarily have a relationship with them, because it may be better that way. It may be better to go no contact. And with mine, you know, I kind of have to take them in a smaller dose than, you know, when I was growing up, but I still love them, and I help them out, they help me out. And that is probably one of the biggest reasons. Those are the two biggest reasons, my mother and my father. They are the biggest reasons why I will not end my life. Because I suspect that if I were to end my life, very soon after that, I think at the very least their lives would be a lot harder, but I predict that within a year or so's time, maybe it could be 5 years or 10 years, but I doubt it. I would say it would probably be within a year's time that at least one, if not both of them, would be dead. To them, I am their world, and they want nothing better, nothing more in this world than for me to be happy. And I struggle with that. But they've, even though they weren't able to stay together, they never truly abandoned me. They made some they made some tough decisions and some sacrifices, some of which involved me having to distance myself from them for the time being, like physically not being in the same place as them most of the time, in order for me to live a better life. And I'm just gonna throw this out here. I know this is a very dark thought to have, but if we were in a slightly more cruel, callous, and kind of campy, like kind of ridiculous world, if in this world I were to end my life, my thought was like, these like companies like Kalshi or whatever, or like these gambling, like these betting websites would have people place bets to see which of my parents would end their life next. What the like, who's more likely? Like, I hate that my mind goes to that, but that's another blessing that's not on this list. Like, well, it was, because I cut out gambling, but like, I get to avoid so many stupid fucking advertisements. Like, I have YouTube Premium, and like, I get to avoid a lot of slop ads and a lot of shit that's pushing people into addictions, and I don't have to deal with that. So I don't know if you all have ever had crazy weird thoughts like that. That's kind of where my mind goes. But yes, they are the biggest reasons as to why I will not end my life. And even if I didn't have them, I have other friends that I think whose lives would be worse off without me. So it means a lot to me, and I'm glad that I can still be around them. I've probably got at least another good decade with my parents. I don't think they're going to live to be 75, but they're not all that old for having a 24 going on 25-year-old son. Number 28, tying into what I said previously, I have good friends in real life and online as well, but more importantly, in real life. There are people I can count on, and there are people that count on me. And I get to hang out with them pretty much whenever I want outside of work or whenever they're free. Like, I get to, like, consistently, like, at least every week, play games with them. Fucking try out new games, play the same game that we've been playing for the, past however many weeks, and it's still good, man. It's still great. So, I got to have good friends in middle school, high school, actually all the way back to elementary school. I'm still in touch with some people that I've known for almost 15 years at this point. And then in my adult life, I've got to keep many of those friends, and I've made some new friends, whether they be mutual or not, that are in my life pretty consistently. And I think that is another like the same with not feeling, like, big reason why people feel depressed is like they don't feel like they feel useless, and part of that might be because they don't really have friends. So I get to have those people in my life. Number 29, I have a hobby I'm passionate about. These next few are also materialistic things, but they are the things that are probably most important to me, at least in terms of, like, what I like to consume. And it's important to not overconsume. But as you can tell by my shirt, I'm not procrastinating, I'm doing side quests. My side quests are relegated to developing a world for a tabletop game for Dungeons and Dragons, and it's something I actually care about, and it's something that I'm getting better at. Admittedly, I wasn't very good at the start, but who's very good at anything when they're just starting? I got a few years under my belt. I've learned a lot of things as a game master, and I don't have to, like, if I don't want to, like, prep for anything, I don't have to. I get to really determine at my own pace what I do. I've got to collect a lot of cool miniatures. Those are I've given away maybe a couple miniatures, but, like, I've kept, like, 99.9% of them. Most of the ones that I thought were genuinely stupid. I gave away a Hero Forge miniature. Also, fuck Hero Forge. Your minis are shit. I'm not paying $50 for that. If anything, I guess maybe get, like, the STL file. So, yeah, there's a little hate I'm throwing out there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to try and save you a few bucks. You'd be better off going somewhere else, and or just printing your own, or finding one that looks like something you have in mind that's already made by, like, WizKids or something. But I'm very passionate about it. Designing this adventure still, I'm working on that. I get to work on that at my own pace. I get to put the deadline whenever I decide that I want to run the game. In a couple weeks, I'll get to run that adventure. And I may make a video talking about how that adventure went, and what I learned, and whatnot. And I might even get to publish it online. I'd probably do it for free. I don't really think my stuff is good enough to be paid for, but maybe one day. And who knows, it might bring about more blessings in my life. It might get me exposure in the writing of adventures and campaigns. Not that I want to work for Wizards of the Coast. Maybe a smaller third party company. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. It's too hard to tell, and I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to keep enjoying the writing that I'm doing, and the fine tuning, and the very autistic fixation I have on this sort of fantasy, right? Number 30, I've got a backlog of movies and shows to watch. I own over 100, maybe 200 DVDs and a lot of loose discs that I'm giving away. That's another thing. Like I said, with impulse buys, I'm not I'm a snob now if it's not a DVD in the box. And if a DVD doesn't have the insert, that's kind of whatever to me. It's a bonus, but at least having it in box and the disc being in good condition. But for video games, I want it complete in box. I'm like a total snob when it comes to that. But like, I just bought like a bookshelf not too long ago to put the Kino on there, and I got a couple movies on there, specifically Pulp Fiction and American Psycho. Like, I can pretty much sit down when outside of work and go watch a movie, whatever, and really watch whatever movie I want if I want to, pay to rent for it. But I like physical media, and the fact that I have access to so many good movies, and I haven't even watched like a bad movie in like a while. It's been a while since I've sat down and been like, oh, well, there went 90 minutes or there went 2 hours. I've seen a lot of good movies now. I didn't get that opportunity growing up. Probably the best movie I ever saw was growing up when I was young that wasn't like a kid's movie, like a family, like animated film, Disney film or something, was probably The Outsiders. And I'd have to rewatch it because I don't even remember if that's like a good movie or not. I remember being moved by it. No hate towards it. It's been 15 years since I've watched it. And I watched it like 2 or 3 times. So I've got to see a lot of cult classics, right? And it's another thing that I'm passionate about. It's another thing I like to do in my free time. Number 31, this is a separate one. I consider it a separate one, as implied with how I collect. I've got a backlog of video games to play. Like, I've got like not as many as I do movies, but like with a game, you can sink 50 or 100 hours into it and not even be done with the game. With a movie, you could probably rewatch it a few times, but you'd have to like space that out. Usually, sometimes you could watch it back to back. There are movies, like the Kino shelf is specifically dedicated to that, to movies that I could really watch whenever. And I only got 2 on there right now, but the fact that there are movies like that exist, that's dope as fuck. And there are games that you could just like sink so much time into. You got to be careful with it. It's another, like, these things I'm talking about are means to escape if you let them take a hold of your life. But the fact that I have access to them and get to enjoy other people's art, and art itself is just kind of this wild thing, because we talk about how like art is sometimes in a way like our ultimate way of like fulfilling our purpose, to share our experiences with the world. And sometimes people see it as a means to get to like a higher power. Like, some people see the greatest form of art as like architecture, because you get to live in the art. You get to move through that building, right? And I'm not particularly interested in that. There's some cool buildings and like there's some cool styles that, but like the fact that I get to enjoy other forms of art really at my own leisure, that's huge, man. And I'm also even more picky. Like with movies, the Kino shelf it'll keep the ones that are like always. It's always going to be like the old reliables. That I'm still going to have like a tote and eventually another shelf of the movies, all the other movies that I think are good. But if I don't think a movie's good, I will disregard it. I will not keep it. Of course, it's a little easier to collect DVDs in that sense, because they're usually like $1 or $2 a piece, or sometimes even cheaper depending on if you're thrifting. But with a game, they're usually a little more expensive, especially if you want a certain edition. And if you don't enjoy a game, it's kind of more of a bummer, because you usually sink more time into games and you usually pay more money for them. So I'm more picky about that. But I'm going to be playing Resident Evil 4 soon for the first time. I only ever got to see my dad play it. So the fact that I get to sit down and enjoy 20, 25, 30-year-old games, like that's dope, man. Not everyone gets to be like, man, I guess I'll boot up. I guess I'll boot up RE4. Like, yeah, it's dope to me. Number 32, I found a lot of enjoyable music. Music's probably helped me the most, especially through like day-to-day stuff. If not, listening to like video essays while I'm at work, throw like an earbud in, and hear people kind of just talk about whatever. It almost kind of feels like you're there. But music. I went to a concert not too like a couple days ago, and the guy there played a song that wasn't for his band, or his band didn't write the song, but they did a cover of it, and he said that the song perfectly encapsulated how he had felt for years. And I'm very fortunate to have found a song that that uh, that encapsulates how I feel. Multiple of them, but I will just say this, and my favorite album of all time, at least at this moment in time, is Through the Eyes by Flaw. And yeah, I guess it's considered, it's like alt metal, or maybe you'd probably put under the broad umbrella of like new metal. But that album fucking rocks, man. I would suggest anyone to go check it out. My favorite song on that album is the 6th track. It's called Amendment. If you just listen to one song on that album, listen to that one. That encapsulates how I've felt in my life. But I found even more enjoyable music, like more of that, more stuff like that. That's the pinnacle. But I found even other great songs, and the fact that I have a device that lets me listen to that music whenever, or throw in an earbud to like envelop myself in it, because I can just block out all the other noise. Like that's insane to think about. Yeah, I don't want to listen to what's going on. Yeah, I'm just going to listen to the song here. It is the little things, man. It really is. These last three may be a little controversial. At least, I hope the last one isn't, but these next two are going to be kind of controversial, maybe. Number 33, I'm single. I think you can be in a relationship and be blessed, and you can be single and be blessed. And I think there are situations where you may be single and not feel that it's blessing, but more often than not, I think it's true that there are people in a relationship and they are not blessed. They are not, it is a burden that they have to carry, especially if they are married, and even more especially if they are married with children, to someone that they don't actually, maybe they love them, but they don't want to be around them. Or maybe they don't love them like how married people should love each other. There are so many people caught up in relationships that are not healthy. And I've really got to avoid that. I have very little experience with that, and in recent times I've had maybe more than I wanted at the pace that it's been going, but like at the end of the day, I don't have to go, share a bed with someone else that I don't want to be around. So I also don't have to have someone else's baggage. Not like that. Like we look out for people. I look out for my friends, or you might look out for someone on the street or something, but like they don't live with you, or if they live with you, but you're not responsible for like being like there for them like all the time. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not like, you don't have to meet those same kind of needs, and that is a responsibility that I do not have to account for. Number 34, I'm child free. I mean, there are good kids. I don't hate kids. Like I said, my roommate's kid, They're great, but I don't. I get to have fun with the kids, play games, or you know, do like wrestling moves, slam them on like the couch or something, and maybe occasionally microwave them something. But I don't have to. I don't have to take them to doctor appointments. I don't have to make sure that they get enrolled into school. I don't have to try and parent alongside someone else, or more unfortunately, possibly try and do it all by myself. Like, that's just not a responsibility I want. I kind of see it as a raw deal. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't have children. It's just the way I look at it from my own personal life. Yeah, no. And I think it's better to, I think it's actually better to not have kids for the right reasons than it is to have kids for the wrong reasons. So, because every like, I might have said this in a previous video, but like every like form of like anxiety that comes up when dealing with like all the things that you have to figure out when trying to help raise a child, really that fear stems from like feeling incapable of being able to deal with it. And it's not rooted in that. I'm not necessarily in a situation where I would be able to raise a child well, and that is another thing, that even if I wanted children, I wouldn't be having them right now. Like I'm not in any rush, and I think like being 40 years old and having your first kid is like totally cool, and it probably works out better. I don't know, maybe we'll see the statistics about that, but a lot of single parents, especially single mothers that I see, are not usually like in their 40s, or if they are, they were divorced, and now the kids are like mostly grown, whereas like a lot of the single parents I see nowadays are like my age or even younger. Like there's kids that we had it at our school. We had a girl that got pregnant. She's raising a kid. She's bringing her kid to graduation. Kind of wild to think about, but that puts you in a whole different, like your world is just completely changed, and you're not living your life for yourself anymore. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Sometimes some people really like lock the fuck in and buckle down and get their shit together for their kids, and that's great. But there's also a lot of people that don't give a shit and don't want to be there for their kids. So, and I'm not saying that I would necessarily be a deadbeat dad, but I don't know if I could really enjoy that life. I don't, and I'm not gonna apply the situation of don't knock it till you try it, because like if you don't want kids, just don't have them. Don't overthink it, man. It's not one of those things that you can necessarily like take back. And I think like giving your kid up for adoption or ghosting the mother of your child is like optimal. Like, I don't think that's a way to really live your life. Number 35, most importantly, above all, I'm alive. And by whatever means that was, whether we evolved over a very gradual process over like billions of years, or things like everything was created by a higher power, a God, intelligently designed by means of evolution, or apparently created in, 6,000 years, or we were created by aliens, or we literally came from nothing, whatever you want to call it, even though I know that's not what the Big Bang is or whatever. Like that's a very straw man argument, but I've been rambling for almost an hour. I thought this was going to be a shorter video, and now this is going to be the longest video on my channel. But by whatever means, it is still a blessing. You're still here against all the odds, against all, like, it is so like unlikely. And that might be one of the strongest cases for a higher power, are the perfect circumstance, the near perfect circumstances that we need to support life, like our lives, our atmosphere, water, all that kind of stuff. And we haven't. That's countless blessings. One of these things were like slightly out of whack, we'd be fucked. So, like, it's pretty comforting to know that. And you get to share it with other people. So, that's everything. Over an hour long. Not bad. Not too shabby. Well, I'm gonna go take care of a few things. I gotta clean up my room a bit. I gotta call my boss, and I gotta make a few arrangements. But love you guys. You guys take it easy.